and welcome to another one of my videos, and welcome to a video for Glitz Design. So this Saturday we are talking about art and mixed media, and I drew my inspiration from the amazing Felicity collection with the lovely flowers on one of these little cards. As you can see, the colors are really pretty and dainty, pinks and blues. And I'm going to just start with my background paper, which is this pink paper, uh, which has this ombre effect on it. And the first thing I'm going to do is apply some gesso to my layout. And to do this, I'm just using a really old card. You can use an old credit card or bank card. And I'm just going to add a bit of gesso to the lower right hand corner as well as the top left hand corner. And just spread that over the layout. What I really love about using the card is that you can create these lovely little kind of strokes, and when it dries it has this nice effect on your paper. So once that is dry, I'm going to use my little inks here. Now these are called Eyes Ink. It's a French brand, but you could use Heidi Swap inks or Mr. Huey's, whatever you want. So I'm just going to add a bit of blue and a bit of pink, and as you can see my pink wouldn't open. Just a bit of pink there. And I'm also using some color wash. This is grey. So I'm going to try and mimic those flowers I showed earlier on. So blue and pink flowers with the grey stems. And I'm just going to take a brush. And I'm using two brushes, a finer one for the stems. And I'm just adding that grey. And creating little stems. And what's fun with these sprays, these inks, is that you can just spray them like you would with normally, or you can use them as a kind of watercolor paint. Now what the gesso does is that it helps the ink not seep into the paper, so the ink will sit on top. So do be careful when you apply it, because it doesn't dry as quickly as it would on watercolor paper or normal paper. Now I'm going to add some of that blue and just watering it down a bit. Now as there is some gesso and the surface isn't really smooth, you might have to go over it several times because sometimes the color does tend to spread out a bit. So I'm just doing this really randomly, trying to create little flowers. Now I'm over to the pink. And what's fun is as it's still wet, the colors will blend together a bit, and that will create that fun effect, and the lines won't be too harsh. Now don't be afraid to play around with your inks. You can always do a test beforehand if you don't want to mess up your paper. But because I don't have lots of time, and I just go with it. And I was lucky, it worked out pretty well. So I'm just going to continue with all those flowers. I am using the example to guide me. And once you've finished with the flowers, all you have to do is leave them to dry. As you can see here, I'm just going around the edges a bit so that you can distinguish the different flowers, because the color does tend to blend together. Now what I'm going to do is just going to add some more water to my brush and then add the color and just splatter that over the layout. This is a fun way to add splatters, and you can make really big ones as well by just adding more water and then just letting it drop onto your layout. So there you have the finished background, and now I'm just going to create the layout itself.